Okay, diagnosing heater problems. When we had this engine swap, we put in a new radiator, heater core, vacuum lines, temperature control valve, all that stuff. We haven't had any trouble until recently. It's not heating or very little heating. And like I said, it's got a new heater control valve, this little gizmo right here. When that is in its natural state, without any vacuum applied, when the vacuum is applied, and what it allows it to do from right here is, this is the hot water supply line on this right hand side over here, the bigger side. This is the return line to the front of the water pump. This one goes to the heater core, supplies the heater core with its hot water. This one comes back, and so the vacuum on this little vacuum switch is what opens and closes the door in there to send the water to the heater core. In its natural state, without any vacuum on it, it is set to go straight across. No, I'm sorry. It is set to come in, go up into the heater core, circulate, and then come back out and go back to the water pump. When vacuum is applied, it closes that valve, and water goes from this line, this big fat line over here, just right back and circulates right back down over to the water pump. Does not go through the heater core. So now let me show you what it is doing. We replaced the thermostat a couple of weeks ago. Okay, we've got the switch to the cold position. And that applies vacuum to that switch. Which then pulls this door closed, not allowing water to get over to the heater core. And you can see that switch right there. Now we're going to turn the heat on and come back and look at that switch again. Now you would think that would be the one sending vacuum, but the natural state is the vacuum sucks on it. Okay, now you're going to notice that it is out. Allowing water from that fat hose there circulate up to that top hose and into the heater core and back down and around. The problem with this one is it's not going in the heater core. With the valve in that position, both the bottom lines are hot. Neither top line is hot. Barely warm. Cold air is coming out even with it on heat. So that valve, that little door inside that valve is malfunctioning, broken off or something. Because now, again, it is got vacuum applied to it and is holding closed. So, am I going to mess with that this afternoon? I'm not sure if I am or not. But anyway, that is what the hose routing looks like. I'm going to post this video as hose routing, and there you can get a good look at it right there. And like I said, that fat hose there comes from the intake back there at the back, getting hot water, supplying it, and it should be going up into the heater core. And I would like to say, well, it's a brand new heater core, but it's not clogged because neither line is warm. It's barely warm going in, but that valve would be completely shut off going to the heater core. There wouldn't be any warm water going to it at all. But and that's the way, that's the position that is. But even with the door open, both bottom lines are still hot and the top lines are cool. I guess there's a possibility that, well, no, if it was, the heater core was clogged, you wouldn't be getting water back through that bottom line either. So that valve is sending water back through it. So there's something malfunctioning about that valve. So we're going to, I don't know, like I said, if we're going to switch it out this afternoon or not. It's about 40 degrees. It's not that cold, but I just don't want to do it. This is a 6-minute video. Let's see, we may, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Well, our diagnosis of the heater control valve, or the temperature control valve, being faulty is correct. The little door in there is broken off. This is an aftermarket. I put it on when we swapped out the engine and transmission, or put it on a little bit before that, but you can see the hose down there that going to the heater core, those two hoses. And let's see, the other hoses, they're hanging down there. There's one of them right there. That one goes to the front of the engine, the return line, and the other one is hanging down back in there. We'll get the new one on. I'm going to put some lubricant on these connectors, on the fittings, where they'll go on the hoses better. And I'll show you how it goes back in there. I'm going to put the hoses on different from when they came out. I'm going to use a screw clamp on the top and both the tops, and have the screw coming in, the 5/16 screw coming in this way, so you can reach it from up here going that way. And this one I'm going to turn it a little bit more where you can get it straight on, where you can get it straight on there. The bottom two, I think I'm going to go back with the squeeze clamps, but I'm going to put the squeeze clamp on, well, I'm going to put this one on just like it came off, with the squeezes out, coming out there. That front one I was going to put, this return one I was going to put it on out front, but won't be able to get to it if I put it out front, I don't think. But it wasn't too bad, because once I got these two off and this one loose, then I was able to pull it up and have good access to that back squeeze clamp. So I may put it back on like it was, and try to get it back on tonight, if not tonight, in the morning. But we will cut into this one and let you see what was wrong with it, see it better. We'll take it apart, but also we will dissect it and show the problem of it with it. Okay, we have got both of those clamps positioned where we can get to them better to tighten them back up, and if we have to take it back off again, to where we can take it back off again easier, and to tighten them and loosen them. There is the valve. We've already got the return line on that left side with the clamp facing just like it was, facing out. We're going to see if we can slide the temperature control valve up into these two top hoses, tighten them down, and then put that supply line on and squeeze clamp it. I know you can't see this very well. This phone is going in and out of focus, but we'll try to get that done, and then we want to dissect the old one as well. Okay, there's the valve. I don't know what, yeah, there you go. It's in there. The only thing is the vacuum line to it is very loose. The other one, it came off of it was tight, but both the fittings look the same, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. I'm gonna have to figure out some way to keep that vacuum line on it, or either get another tip or another line. But we'll figure that out. I'm gonna put some water in it and we'll crank it up and see what it does. I'm gonna be putting a blower motor in a 97 Cherokee over the next, well, may over the next day or two also, I'm not sure yet. And maybe even a throttle cable on this one. Throttle cable. And I ended up using a screw clamp on that supply on this side. I just couldn't, I could have, but I just wasn't going to keep fighting that squeeze clamp. So I put a screw clamp on it. Okay, and taking this thing apart, the first thing we're going to do is take a 1/4 inch socket and take this vacuum switch off of it. I don't know if that shaft will come on out or not. It should be attached to that little door, that little flapper shutoff, but it has come unattached, and that's why this thing just sent the water right straight back to the front of the water pump instead of sending it through the heater core. So let's take that off first and see what that gives us. Yes, I don't know if that little door was just clipped on there or what, but it is no longer on there, so this came right off. And everything else is glued together. This is a 2-piece fused together. So I guess we're going to take a cutoff tool and we're going to, yeah, that little flapper is just flapping around in there now. That little door. So we may cut this, cut this section off here first. That'll give us full access to it. Or we could just cut into it here. We're going to put it in a vise and see what we want to do first. Yeah, I'm putting it back together. See, the little rod went across there and the little door, it just came apart. The little plastic valve just came apart. The original lasted 23 years, 22 years. This one lasted about a year. I'm going to take this back. I have to figure out where I got it. I'm sure it's probably got a lifetime warranty. I'll get it back, get a replacement. That's $30. So I'll get a replacement. I'll have another one if I need it. And next time though, I may just put the old style cutoff valve from the 60s where it was cable operated and had a metal door in it. I don't know what I'll do yet if it happens again, but anyway, that'll conclude this video. We'll get it uploaded so y'all can see if you have this same problem, how to replace it and what went wrong.